Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the creative writing class. So, this is our first class. Just a So, this is our first class of creative writing. So, what is creative writing? What do you understand by creative writing? Let's start. Just a second. So, creative writing includes everything like all kinds of writing, story, article, blog, everything. So, as the name suggests, creative writing is a form of writing that goes beyond the traditional realms of normal, professional, academic, technical forms of writing. So, instead, it encompasses a number of different genres and styles across a whole range of fields of both fictional and non-fiction writing, storytelling, playwriting, poetry, prose, journalistic, and more. So, it is like goes beyond the traditional realms of normal, professional, academic, or technical forms of writing. So instead, it encompasses a number of different genres and style across a whole range of fields of both fiction and non-fiction writing, storytelling, playwriting, poetry, prose, journalistic, and more. Though the definition can be quite vague, creative writing can, for the most part, be considered as many type of writing that is original and expressive of oneself. Typically, so it includes both fictional and non-fictional writing like storytelling, playwriting, poetry, prose, journalistic, and more. Though the definition can be quite vague, creative writing can, for the most part, be considered as many types of writing that is original and expressive of oneself. So typically, it can be identified by an emphasis on narrative craft, focusing on elements such as character development, narrative, and plot, infusing its structure with imagination, invention, and story. So in this sense, creative writing can technically be considered any writing of contemporary original composition. It's bound by no standard conventions and uses a whole range of elements in its craft. So in an academic setting, creative writing is typically divided into fiction, poetry, or script writing classes. So creative writing actually expresses something, it expresses oneself. So typically it can be identified by an emphasis on narrative craft, focusing on elements such as character development, narrative and plot, infusing its structure, the imagination, invention and story. So in this sense, creative writing can technically be considered any writing of contemporary original composition. It's bound by no standard conventions and uses a whole range of elements in its craft. In an academic setting, creative writing is typically divided into fiction, poetry, or script writing classes with a focus on writing in an original style, not defined by pre-existing structure or genres. So what are the different types of creative writing? Generally, creative writing comes in many forms encompassing a number of genres and styles. Now, there are a lot of different types of creative writing which can be categorized as fiction or non-fiction. Some of the most popular being biographies, fiction, novels, novellas, short stories, etc. Speeches, poetry, and spoken word, playwriting, script writing, personal essays, speeches. So these are different kind of creative writing like biographies. Fiction means novels, novellas, short stories, etc. Speeches, any kind of speeches which you are going to speak in any public forum. Playwriting or script writing, personal essays, and speeches. What makes a good piece of creative writing? First and foremost, is important to know that there is no predefined description of what it means to create a good piece of creative writing. As the very name suggests, creative writing is an imaginative process created by an individual with all their quirks and personalities. Creative writing does not fit one set of genre and therefore there will never be an umbrella definition to describe the perfect piece. Just think about a gothic story and then compare it to the features of a great romantic poem. The, the two are so very different, so it would not be unfair to judge them together. So, however, with that being said, there are few general principles that you can follow to make your creative writing as strong it can be by making it as authentic and true to you as possible. Know your audience. All great stories begin with target audience in mind because it's exactly what you need to know in order to really tailor your writing and connect with them. Therefore, any creative writer should begin their writing by plotting out exactly who they want to read their work. So once you have this in mind, your writing will naturally begin to take direction and flow in a way that seems appropriate to your audience. So you have to know your audience, like all great stories begin with the target audience in mind, because it's exactly what you need to know in order to really tailor your writing and connect with them. Therefore, any creative writer should begin their writing by plotting out exactly who they want to read their work. Once you have this in mind, your writing will naturally begin to take direction and flow in a way. So if you know whom you are writing, you can easily understand for how you should write. So write what you know. Quite often, the best stories are those which we can connect and relate in one or another way to our own lives. So what there are stories which seem so authentic that you could imagine it to be about the writer's own life. And now this does not mean that you quite literally have to write about your life, but drawing on knowledge you have about different elements of our lives to give your story some authenticity and more believability. So you have to know, like whatever you know. This is not following any rule. So these are actually stories, and these stories are generally come from like how much good you are writing, whatever you know about your life, so the people will also relate. So it doesn't mean that you have to quite literally have to write about all the things, but if you like draw the attention to different elements of your lives, which give your story some authenticity and more believability, it will definitely become a good piece of writing. Creativity is key. So, how much good language you know, how good you are writing, that is the thing. Suppose, like we can write anything in different ways. Suppose I may write, I have a dress, but I can also write, I own a dress which is very beautiful. So, in these are two sentences. Which you're giving the same information, but in the second one you are getting a little bit more information, and you like audience will love to read the sentence, like not the simple one. It is also simple, but if you add some color, some creativity in your writing, it will definitely draw the attention of the audience. Suppose you can also write, he is he is eating rice. Now I can also write like this. He is having rice. Look, look, Asti. So, like you can write your sentence more creatively, and like you can play with words so that audience will also get attracted towards your writing. So simply use your creativity to think a little outside the box and put a unique twist on things using the literary device like metaphors, alliteration, and varied sentence structure to make your work unique and interesting. So these are some figure of speech, alliteration, metaphors. If you use all these things in writing, it will become a good writing. Push your imagination. If you one of the great things that your creative writing is that there is no definition of rules on how to write. Actually, there is no definition, or I cannot tell you some rules like this you can write. Like if I ask you to write a paragraph about your day, so there is no such rule. You have to write whatever is coming to your mind. So you should push your imagination to the limits to see what the end result could be. Some of the most interesting pieces of literature are thought-provoking or make us question the writing or world around us. Where could your story take us? Plot a loose story. Despite the loose bounds of creative writing, it is still advisable to plot a loose story arc for any piece of literature you create. So, whenever you are going to create any story, any writing, first you can create a draft. After that, you can develop the draft. So, you may write some points there and what you are writing, what is your thinking. To follow your story arc in your writing will have a strong structure, pace, and attention, keeping your readers more engaged. What are the some techniques used in creative writing? So to make their writing stand out, writers often employ several creative writing techniques and literary devices in like character development. The process of creating a well-rounded, realistic character with deep personality and clear goals or motivations. Plot development, the story of your piece of writing, how it develops, unfolds, and moves along it in time. Point of view, the perspective from which a narrative is told. It indicates who is telling the story and how the information is conveyed to the reader. Quite often, writers will play with the point of view of the central character or protagonist to trick the reader and twist their perspective. Dialogue refers to the speech and conversations characters use to speak to one another. Dialogue and the language choices the character make can be pivotal in helping define their personality. Literary devices such as metaphors, similes, and alliteration to make creative writing more imaginative and descriptive. These are used in a myriad of ways by writers to make their writing more vivid, interesting, and engaging. Those who pursue the subject of creative writing will typically study a variety of texts from different periods of time to learn more about the different genres of writing within the field. They will become familiar with some of the leading creative writers from generations past to present, as well as some lesser known and emerging writers in the industry. So it's always advisable that read more. How much you read good writers' work, you will get to know how you should write. So inspired by what they have learned in the classroom is uncommon for creative writing students, or to also participate in regular workshops and scrap sessions. So where they bring a piece of their writing along to class and have it read by other students and the tutor. So they will leave with constructive feedback on how to improve their writing or recommendations of other works which they may want to read to take influence from. How you can start creative writing if you're interested in getting those creative juices flowing and improving your writing craft. Read some more tips. Read as much as you can. Your creative writer's inspirations comes from a whole range of sources, but most commonly from other writers. There is some excellent examples of creative writing throughout history, and all writers should be inspired by. Read a variety of genres by different authors to get a real feel for what type of writing you may want to do. Start journaling. Starting a journal can really help you to unleash your inner creativity. Getting into the habit of writing each day about literally anything that's preoccupied you that day will help you practice the art of writing. You can attend any creative writing course. If you are just starting out as a creative writer and looking to collaborate, share your ideas with others and workshop your writing, then you can join any course. Practice using literary devices You can use any literary devices in your writing. And the thing is, you have to writing right. So some elements of creative writing are action, movements that characters undertake in the story, character used to progress the plot and establish inner or outer conflict, conflict challenges, suspense and uncertainty, dialogue or verbal exchange between characters, pacing, the speed at which the story is told, plot, tone, voice, theme. Creative writing techniques, genre, metaphor, narration, point of view, rhyme, structure, style. These are some techniques. So this is all about creative writing. We discussed the basics of creative writing today. So you may ask me if you have any queries. Is it clear? Do you understand? Okay, so if you don't have any query, I will conclude the session here. Thank you.